that just goes to show how ridiculous our expectations of the future can be. And why are we so obsessed with the future? It's unexpected, it isn't even guaranteed. No matter how we try to map it out, imagine it, prevent it, plan it, we never get it right. And as teenagers, we're constantly hounded about the future. And one year we have the teachers who interrogate us daily with questions like, where do you see yourself in 10 years and who will you be in the future? Then turn around and say, you're just a teenager, you don't know anything yet. Or in the words of Mr. Mandel, you have nothing to worry about, it's only your future at stake. In the other ear, we have our overbearing parents that say, I know you don't think you're staying in this house all your life, or I'm not going to be taking care of you forever. Then immediately contradict themselves by reminding us how much we don't know and how much we can't do when they tell us that we're not grown, or we don't pay any bills, and that we're only a teenager. But they're absolutely right. We're only teenagers, not psychics, not fortune tellers. So when you ask us what the future will hold, do not expect us to have a concrete answer. Very few people knew exactly the career paths and life choices they make directly out of high school. In fact, some of the most successful people, most intelligent people, failed miserably at their first ventures. Oprah Winfrey, one of the richest women in the world, was fired from her first job as a reporter after being told that she was unfit for television. Walt Disney, the magic behind all of our favorite childhood movies, was fired by a newspaper editor because he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. Even the man we know as Albert Einstein did not speak a single word until he was 4 years old and did not begin to read until he was 7. These are some of the most respectful people of our time, and even they did not immediately excel. So parents, when we come back crying to you about how difficult college is, or about how we're considering switching majors for the third time, do not squash our glittering young minds. Nurture us, because we may be on the verge of a major breakthrough. Even still, we're not Oprah, we're not Einstein, we're teenagers. We have spent our whole lives thinking about this moment when we finally be in our cap and gowns graduating from high school. Yet all we seem to be talking about is the future. We're always looking forward to the next day, because the next day we'll get our license or our first car and move into our college dorms, but what about this very moment? We're so busy thinking about life after graduation that we've completely dismissed the thought of graduation altogether. Take a second to realize that the moment we have anticipated is currently taking place. We've made it. So for 1 second, let's forget about the future and live in the moment, because, hello, we're teenagers. That's what we do. We're here in our cap and gowns, moments away from receiving our diplomas. And I'm not sure what's going to happen in 5 years, maybe 5 minutes from now, but I'm sure that I could not ask for better people that I would rather spend these 4 years with. Before I go, if there's anything I would like you to know from the speech is that we don't know anything. We don't know what lies ahead. We don't know if the task in which we invest all our time and energy to will be a success. And we do not know if we will be as passionate about a career today as we will be tomorrow. We're teenagers, not psychics. And you can call us crazy, but like the slogan says in Apple's Think Different campaign, the people who think they are crazy enough to change the world are usually the ones who do. And you can call us naive or immature, but who says that's a bad thing? It's our naivety and callousness that makes us venture out to the unknown and make a name for ourselves. Of course, we'll stumble and fall, maybe get a little scarred and bruised along the way, but someone has to blaze the trail. Someone has to fall down so they can show the scars to those who follow as a reminder of what not to do and how not to do it. Because parents, we love you all very, very much, but we're not going to believe anything you say until we experience it for ourselves. Of course we're stubborn, we're teenagers. We have to get burned before we believe you when you say something is hot. We have to stay up all night studying for a test just to fail the next morning before we believe you when you say college is difficult. And staff, we know you are all very amazing at what you do, but ultimately, failure and disappointment are the best teachers. We're teenagers, not obedient little puppies, not psychics, but I do not need a crystal ball or some divine prophecy to know this class has a very bright future. With over $1 million in scholarships, we've already proven that we are capable of greatness. All of us have the potential to be amazing at whatever we set our hearts on. We're passionate, we're important, we're ambitious,